basketball. Did you see the basketball ratings finally? Down 70%. Who the hell? I didn't watch one shot. No interest. No, we want people. You know what? People want to watch sports, they want to watch sports. They have enough of us, right? They have enough of us. There's plenty of us. But down 70%. I mean, in one way it's a shame, in another way, you know, when we had this argument with the NFL 2 years ago, it really hurt them badly. They were down 25-30%, right? People weren't going to the games. And I thought, well, won the battle. I thought it was okay. And I saw Roger, nice guy, Roger Goodell, in his basement wearing a blue t-shirt, tight, very tight. You know, like he's a player, it doesn't work. I don't want to have a tight one. I want to just loose as possible. He's wearing a tight one, he just thinks he's all about filth. Don't tie in, just a t-shirt, like an undershirt that's painted blue. It's a blue color. I don't even think it had anything on it. And he said, we decided to do this. I said, there goes the NFL, the regular teams. And nobody was even, this was during, I think, August. Nobody was even talking about it. What the hell is he doing? And here he goes again, nobody cares about football because and I don't know how many chances they're going to get, but they ought to get smart because they can't win this war. We want people that love our country. If a player's making $25 million a year doing something he'd be doing anyway on the weekend, okay, because he loves playing football. And if somebody's making $10 million for blocking or $25 million for throwing, and they say what a horrible country we're living, we can't do that. And you know what? I want them to protest. I think if they want to protest, they can. And there's always reason to protest. They can, but not then, and not sitting on a knee instead of standing proudly with your hand in your heart. And you know in the contract, they have a clause, you have to stand hand on heart. They actually have, I think, hand on heart. They don't want to exercise it because they're weak people. And weak people is what got our country in trouble. We talk about weak, Joe Biden and the socialists will kill your jobs, dismantle your police departments, dissolve your borders, confiscate your guns, and impose a $4 trillion tax hike on your companies and yourselves. $4 trillion. You know what $4 trillion is? That's the largest tax hike in the history. And you know what they're going to do with it? They're going to spend it on the Green New Deal. Conceived by the brilliant AOC+3. A poor student with absolutely no environmental experience. They want to attack religious liberty, drive God from the public square, and destroy your suburbs. I say that to the women because I keep hearing, they said, the women from the suburbs. No, I think the women from the suburbs are looking for a couple of things. One of them is safety, one of them is good, strong security, and one of them is they don't want to have low-income housing built next to their house. And you know who makes up 30% of your suburbs? Minorities, African Americans, right? Hispanic Americans, Asian Americans, minorities. Okay? People think, is it racist? Not racist, it's the opposite. I've had them come to me, people come to me and say, thank you so much. But they keep talking about the women from the suburbs. I say, I think we're going to have a big resounding, what the hell happened with women to the suburbs? They really like to a lot. Only vote for me if you're a woman from the suburbs. And you know, I shouldn't say this because they'll bring it up, but one time, early on, you know, I haven't been doing this that long, right? You know, I haven't been doing it. I have guys that have been running, sure, I've been running for 40 years. I said, well, I've only run for 2 years, but I became president, you didn't. But you know, it's sort of interesting because I really think that women from the suburbs are going to like Trump because I think it's going to be one of the big, because it is about safety. It is about safety. And when you see what happens in our cities where they run and ransack and they're anarchists, and you know what? They say the suburbs are, they actually say the suburbs are next. And just so you know, Just so you know, so important. These are Democrat-run states and cities. Republicans are doing great. And we're not going to let this happen. And we'll stop it. We want a resounding victory. We're going to stop it. But the suburbs are next. But I did say, you know, early on, I said, housewives from the suburbs. They went after me when I said that. Let me ask you, the women from the suburbs, do you mind when we say housewives from the suburbs? But I'll do it politically correct anyway. I'll say women. But I said housewives from the suburbs. They went crazy. He wasn't politically correct. They said Biden supports cutting police funding, abolishing cash bail. You know, you get a murder. Oh, let's let him out. Oh, let's let him off the street. You see what's happening in New York? What they're doing to New York, our governor, what he's doing to New York is horrible. And he called law enforcement, Sleepy Joe, he called law enforcement recently the enemy. No, law enforcement has done an incredible job. And you're always going to have a bad apple. You're always going to have somebody that chokes. You know, they have like a quarter of a second. You ever seen the test where somebody slashes open the door? You got a quarter of a second. And they could be on the force for 30 years. But that's a hard thing to do, right? And you're going to have people that choke. Like in sports, you see, they choke, some people choke. Then you have Jack Nicklaus, you have Tiger, you have great people that tend to choke a lot less. But you know, some people choke, and it's not their fault, it's just the way it is. You have a quarter of a second to make a decision, quarter of a second, think of it. Joe Biden and the Democrat Party, they've waged a war on police and cops and inciting riots, and that's what you do. When you take away the majesty of that position, you are inciting violence. When you allow people to loot stores and you have the police standing back, and they want to go in and do their job, oh, and they can do it so easy. You don't even need us to bring in the National Guard like we did in Minneapolis, like we were ready to do in Seattle, and then they gave up the night before because they didn't want to play games. I was so disappointed when they did that. I was. The one I really want to do is Portland. That's going to be so easy. We have to be invited. The governor doesn't want. I call her. I say, Governor, let us go in. Give us 30 minutes, Governor. But you know what? I don't want to violate. It would be. I could, I guess, if I did. But we have to be invited in. And this city, it's the craziest thing. These are anarchists. That would be the easier one. We'd love to go in and do something big with Chicago. That's actually a bigger problem. That's actually a bigger problem. The easy one are the anarchists in the middle of the street that hate our country, hate our cops. You saw that they killed this young man, right? They shot him on the street. And a day went by, they knew the guy, and they didn't arrest him. Another day went by, they didn't. I called down, I said, what's going on? They didn't arrest him. They knew who he was. They knew where he was. They didn't want, they would have never. So I sent in our great U.S. Marshals. They were so happy. You know, the law enforcement, they love our country. They were so happy. And this guy was a killer. He had other crimes too, by the way, bad ones. But he shot this young man right in the middle of the street. Shot him. You heard the bullet ring out, you heard the people scream. They knew what it was. They said that was someone's thing. So after 2.5 days, I said, go ahead, again. 15 minutes, it was over. Here in Nevada, rioters burned the city of Reno. And during the violent demonstrations in Las Vegas, a 29-year-old police officer was deliberately shot in the head while he was doing his job. Think of it, you know who that was, right? You know who he is. Was. Joe Biden, see here, right? You know who our caucus, his partners were. We talked to a lot of the people that were there. I think his partners here. But I want to tell you, we can't let this happen. They've taken away the respect. You have to let them do their job. They'll do it well. You can't have, remember in Minneapolis, where the mayor ordered the police to leave the premises? Right? Seattle, leave the premises. And then they took over the police department. You have that, you're not going to have a country. But this is the radical left. This is the radical left. Joe Biden will appease the rioters, looters, and anarchists. And I'm having them arrested instead. Okay, and remember, it's all states, all are Democrats. If you're a moderate Democrat or a liberal who knows that your party has gone totally off the rails, we are welcoming you with open arms to the Republican Party. Biden's agenda would also be a catastrophe for Nevada seniors. Seniors, any seniors here? For years, Biden tried to cut Social Security and Medicare. You know that, right? Remember they used to say, oh, I'm going to cut it. Well, what happened? I never cut it. Remember they said, I'm going to be in wars. You know, that's my personality. They think it's not really. It is if we have to. I'll be better than anybody else. But, you know, you say, whatever happened to North Korea? Remember we're supposed to be in a war with Obama or Hillary or whoever it was. You would have been in a war. Obama expected to be in a war. That would have been a bad war. Now Biden is pledging mass amnesty and free health care for illegal aliens, decimating Medicare and destroying your Social Security. While I am president, no one will touch your Medicare or your Social Security. Under my leadership, we are delivering a safe vaccine and very rapid recovery, and we're all set to deliver. We have the military ready to deliver. It's going to be incredible. We have a general, that's what he does. He delivers soldiers and delivers everything. This is easy for them. It'll be delivered very, very rapidly. Joe Biden would terminate our recovery, delay the vaccine, and annihilate Nevada's economy with a draconian, unscientific lockdown. Because, you know, they're finding out these lockdowns aren't working. Look at Europe. They're having this massive surge. They've been locked down. Okay, look at these lockdowns. They've been locked down and now they're having a surge. Look at Michigan. Michigan had a surge. Well, who's been tougher than her? She ran like a prison. She was like a warden, right? And they have a surge. And then they say she's doing a wonderful job. I think she's doing a terrible job. By the way, I know all of the governors. You know, we basically deal with the governors. The governors run those states. We give them the equipment. We help them out. We got them all of the ventilators. We did an incredible job with that. Jared Kushner did a great job. We had so many. These guys from Silicon Valley, nobody understood. We didn't ventilators, right? No, but you know, for that, they're good. They came in, everybody said these things are complicated. They walked in like, that's got to be the simplest piece of equipment we've ever seen. And we now have become the ventilator. I mean, we're making thousands and thousands a month, and we're actually giving them. We don't need any. But we didn't have ventilators. We weren't equipped for a thing like this. Our cupboards were empty. The governors were. And I got to know all the governors. Some did a great job, and some did a poor job. But when we had our weekly calls with the governors, they would say, even the biggest enemies, the biggest haters, sir, thank you very much, or to our great vice president who headed up the task force, Mike Pence. Oh, did he do well in this debate with her? If that were a fight, they would have stopped it, right? They should have stopped it. I said they should have stopped that debate in the middle. It's a great expression, right? Boxing, you know, you learn UFC. If that were a fight, they would have stopped it. But Mike was great, and he's done great. He did great with this whole thing. But the governors would say on conference calls, all 50, usually almost all of them were, because they all wanted everything. You know, their cupboards were empty. That was their fault, I guess. You know, but let's say it was their fault. But we had to help them, and we did. We built hospitals for some of them. We built everything. We did a great job. But they would say, thank you very much, great job, great job, great job, every one of them. And if they weren't happy, we'd make them happy during the call, because we had the generals, the admirals, we had great people, and we took care of them. And they'd say, great job, thank you very much, Mr. President, Mr. Vice President, thank you very much, great job. We're sending a lot of gowns to Michigan, goggles to Michigan, lots of things to all the different states. But she'd say, great job, thank you very much. We have it all down, you know, it's all down. Because I think all those calls, I hope they would take it. Hey, can you imagine if we didn't have my call with the President of Ukraine? If we didn't have that transcribed, then it would have been this crazy maniac named Adam Schiff with his phony story that he told to the United States. But we had it transcribed. Isn't that a wonderful thing? So I think we have it transcribed or tagged. But all the governors, every one of them, thank you very much, great job, great job, great job. Then they go outside and they see the press. You know, they get nervous with the press. These guys, they make them nervous. But we're not very happy with the job the president's doing. I said, he's no good people. But you know what? Someday I'll tell you the story. We had some great ones, and we had some people that didn't know what the hell they're doing. I'll let you know at the right time. Under the Biden lockdown, the lights of Reno and Las Vegas were extinguished. Carson City will become a ghost town. If he comes in, Carson City will become a ghost town. And the Christmas season will be canceled. Look, remember I said we're going to bring back Christmas, right? The name? I used to go around saying we will bring, because I saw these big department stores, you know, they thought it was politically correct. So they say, have a great season. I said, no, I don't want to have a great season. I want to say Merry Christmas. Say what? Now they're all saying Merry Christmas. So I just want to introduce a couple of warriors that are here. We're joined tonight by Congressman Mark Armadale. Come on. Good job you're doing, Mark. What a great job. What a great job. How are we doing? Okay, we're doing all right here, right? Yeah. Thank you very much. You're doing good. Thank you, Mark, very much. We're also a man who's a fighter. But if he loses, I will never do it. And he's the Nevada Republican Party chairman, respected by everybody, loved by everybody, Michael McDonald. Good, Michael. And congressional candidate, somebody that's going to win, and we're working with him very strong, Jim Marshall. Jim. I hear you doing good. I heard you leading in the polls. Jim, get it done. We'll help you. A friend of mine and a man who's doing really well, and he's watching those, he's a very smart guy and respected by everybody. He's watching those ballots come in. I think he's watching every one of them. Attorney General, your former Attorney General, respected. They love him, and I love him. Adam Laxalt. So Adam, are you and Nick finding any bad things? Anything bad happening? Can you please watch very closely, Adam? For the people, not for me. You know, you're not doing this for me, you're doing it for the people, okay? He's got the most important assignment there is. Because a lot of bad things, they're finding those things in creeks, they're finding them in riverbeds, they're finding them in ash cans and dumpsters. In large numbers in Ohio, 50,000 were missing. In Virginia, 500,000 applications were made. And in one place, everything was good except for one problem. They forgot to put my name on it. Other than that, it was great. Other than that, they were very reasonable, but my name wasn't on it, and then somehow that didn't work out too well, Michael. A lot of them did. And then they found some military ones, great military ones, and they were found in a waste paper basket, and they all had the name Trump on it. They were all signed for Trump. They were Trump. They were voted for Trump. Unfortunately, I don't think they're going to get there because they were in a waste paper basket. Anyway, and the Republican National Committeeman from Nevada, Jim DeGraffney. Jim. Thank you, Jim. Great job. Great job, Jim. How's it going? Good? You doing all right up there? Good. You're a handsome man, Jim. As president, I've been delivering for our incredible Hispanic American community like never. Thank you, John. Thank you. I like you. Thank you. You know, it's interesting. The polls are showing Trump. They're saying, what the hell is going on with Trump and the Hispanic American community? Right? No. We're at the highest level that they've ever had recruited for a Republican. It's got to be higher. But it's literally, we're beating the Democrats who've been all talk and no action. I like Hispanics. I'm taking care because I'm fighting for school choice, right? Safe neighborhoods and Hispanic-owned small businesses. You have no idea how great business people, Hispanic Americans are great business people. I've known that for a long time. Sometimes I say they're too good. They are tough sometimes, but they're great business people, and we've helped them. Joe Biden would crush everything Hispanic Americans have worked for, wiping out your small businesses with lockdowns and regulations and devastating your families with massive tax hikes. Your tax hikes, by the way, I never heard all my life. If you're running for office, you got taxes, right? Who the hell ever heard of a guy running? Here's a guy, can't put two sentences together, and he wants to quadruple your taxes, and they say, he's tied, and no matter how the hell can we be tied? How can I be tied with him in Pennsylvania, and he doesn't want to free? That's 1 million jobs. It's going to destroy our energy business because we're energy independent. They're tied. I mean, what's going on? It doesn't. And okay, so it goes out. There's no people at any of the rallies. I go out and get 35, 40,000, 25,000, 50,000. We get the biggest crowds in the history of politics. I mean, I'm not saying, look, everything I say, they'll correct if, you know. I mean, they'll say, yeah, who cares? I don't even care what they say at this point. But we get these massive crowds. He gets nobody, and then they say we're tied. What the hell kind of a business are you in, Michael? It doesn't make sense. How do you guys do this? You wage war on Catholic organizations like the Little Sisters of the Poor, which we defend. Ban charter schools, bankrupt Catholic schools. You know, we help the Catholic Church very much with our schools. We help fund their schools. Fund extreme late-term abortion and empower the socialists. That's why we're going to win a record share of the Hispanic vote this November. So, I got her vote. Thank you. Under my leadership, we achieved the most secure border in U.S. history, and we are finishing the wall. The wall is going to be very close to being finished. Their new deal is this. Well, I got to tell you real quick. So their new deal is this. He didn't build much wall. You ever see this? They said I renovated it. You got a pipe that's been laying in the sand for 30 years, a little pipe, and they call that a, and then we're building this 30-foot wall. And I thought it would be all concrete, and I wish it was because it's cheaper. But the Border Patrol wanted it to be slabs. They have to be able to see through, which makes sense. They said, it's more expensive. So there's two things. Now they said, he didn't build a concrete wall. That's right. I built steel, and inside the steel is concrete, and inside the concrete is very powerful rebar, and inside that we have wires. I would have much rather built a concrete plank wall. But you know what? I built what they wanted. I don't want it because they wouldn't be able to see through it. So if they can't see through it, so here's the video. They got pipe laying down. They got some wooden fences like 2 feet. Anything that there's any, if they ever had anything there, they call it a renovation. So now they say they did this vicious story. That we only built this small number of miles. You know, we're up to almost 400 miles. But we had to rip out. You ripped out almost everything. Basically, they had some areas like where they keep people from walking. They had some little wooden stuff that was all rotted and no good, and you know, anything that had anything on it. So they call it a renovation. This is not. We ripped everything out. We went down 7 feet for tumbling, and we went up 30 feet. And they say this is a renovation. They do anything the fake news to demean you. Anything. It's a disgrace. Anyway, we're up to almost 400. Where is Jared? Is he here, by the way? I'd love to get you. He did such a great job on Middle East peace. You see what we're doing there? He doesn't want any acclaim. He's just a very smart guy. You don't hire guys. Well, wherever he's back working on the Middle East peace. He said, I've heard this guy before. I don't have to hear him. But it's amazing what we've done in the Middle East. And we did the exact opposite the way they've been doing it for 50 years with blood all over the place. No blood in the sand. Joe Biden's party continues to attack our incredible border agents, more than half of whom are Hispanic American, by the way. And they're extraordinary. These extraordinary patriots deserve our admiration, our gratitude, and respect. United Arab Emirates, Mohammed, one of the most respected warriors in the Middle East, and Bahrain, And we have other countries lined up. Even the New York Times said it's incredible. I can't believe it. I said, no way. I'm sure that person was fired. No, it was Tom Friedman. They're not going to fire him. But they said it was incredible. This guy's done a great job. And you know the nice thing? He wants no acclaim. He just wants to do what he wants to do. And you know, also worked on Israel, the capital, Jerusalem. Great job. And he has no weight problem that I can tell you. He's so skinny. I'm just so skinny, guy. Biden vowed to terminate our travel bans on jihadist regions and surge refugee admissions by 700%. He wants to let them come in. And I want to pay our respects to President Macron of France, because you saw what happened over there yesterday. What a horrible thing. Radical Islamic terrorism. Thank you. And I tell you, I saw a lot of signs. We're working on something you're going to be. I saw a lot of signs, especially in California. You know that, right? Armenians. Oh, they're good people. They're great business people too, you know. But the Hispanic American, the Armenians, great business people. That's good. You know, where I just left, there were so many Armenians with a beautiful flag. Oh, we're working on something. I'm keeping terrorists. You have great spirit in your country. People from Armenia, they have great spirit for their country. Thank you very much. But I'm keeping terrorists, extremists, and criminals out of our country. We invested $2.5 trillion in the United States military. We have the greatest equipment. We're the envy of the world. We have the greatest fighters, the greatest rockets and missiles. We have the greatest of everything. We passed VA choice and VA accountability for our great vets. 91% of the world. We killed the leader of ISIS, al-Baghdadi. They were looking for him for years. We wiped out 100% of the ISIS caliphate. We took out the caliphate. And we killed the #1 terrorist and mass murderer anywhere in the world. American troops, many people. Soleimani is dead. I withdrew from the last administration's disastrous Iran nuclear deal. My first goal, if and when we win, we're going against the party. If and when, hopefully, my first goal will be from Iran. Their economy is a disaster. They're down GDP 27%. I've never even heard of that. They're down 27%. It's a disaster. They will call, and I don't want that to happen. I want them to have a great country, but they can't have nuclear weapons. It's very simple. They can't have nuclear weapons. And I think the first call we get will be from them, and they'll sit down and want to make a deal. We'll make a good deal, you know. But what Kerry did, he's... Oh, that's right, we're in Carson City, I forgot. Who said that? Who's the one that said that? Stand up, let me see. That's pretty. I recognize the true capital of Israel, as we said. And that was something that was really... And by the way, you know, when we did that and opened the American Embassy in Jerusalem, they got it built for a tiny fraction. I won't go into that story, but got it built. But when I did that, every president that ran, many of the presidents that ran, many years, decades, and they all said they're going to do it, and then they got into office, they couldn't pull the trigger, right? They couldn't pull it. They couldn't pull it like somebody couldn't pull the trigger on that last little putt to win the match. They couldn't pull the trigger. And then other guys could pull the trigger, and they sink it. I also recognize Israeli sovereignty over the Golan Heights. 52 years they've been trying to get it. I got it done in 2 hours. And I did more in 47 months than Sleepy Joe Biden did in 47 years. Democrats are now pushing the most far-left agenda ever put forward by a party or a presidential nominee. Biden doesn't understand it, so I won't bother with it. He still doesn't know what the hell's happening. The Biden plan would destroy Social Security and destroy protections for pre-existing conditions. Biden's running mate, they won't have socialized medicine. So, you forget about your 180 million plans that we have in this country that people absolutely love. They won't have socialized medicine. You go to the hospital, you don't feel good, you wait at the hospital for about 3 weeks. Biden's running mate sponsored a bill to outlaw private health insurance. They want to wipe out the 180 million plans. Biden and Harris will also shut down American energy and obliterate your jobs with the socialist Green New Deal, as I said. A vote for Republicans is a vote for safe communities, great jobs, and a limitless future for all Americans. A vote for Republicans is a vote for the American dream. It's a vote for me. Manufacturing superpower of the world. Carson City, get ready, but this whole state, get ready. And we will end our reliance on China once and for all to do so. We will hire more police. We love our police. Thank you. And our great firemen and women. We love that. We have a lot of great support from the firemen and women. Increase penalties for assaults of law enforcement, and we will ban deadly sanctuary cities. The people don't even want the sanctuaries. Only the politicians love it. We will uphold religious liberty, free speech, and the right to keep and bear arms. We will say, we put Beto in charge of taking the guns away. Remember when he was on the cover of that stupid Vanity Fair, which is, I think it's dead. I think it died. But he was on the cover. Remember what he said? He was doing okay, not great. When they had him on the cover, they were trying to build him up and didn't want to have to. Remember what he said? He said, I was born to run for president. Once I said that, I said, he's got it. That's anybody said I was born to do this. He's a sick person. What a sick puppy. But he was put in charge by Biden to take your guns away. I don't think he's going to do too well in Carson City. Beto's coming to kick your gun. I don't want to start anything. I want you to obey the law because I have to, They'll say he's struggling. He's going to start. The fact is that Beto wants your guns taken away. Biden doesn't even know what that means. And I'm going to always protect your Second Amendment. By the way, your Second Amendment is on the seats. Nothing is happening. Nothing is happening. And there's been a lot of pressure on me on your Second Amendment. Nothing. We will strike down